Okay, so let's go over Essay 3 a little bit. Essay 3 is designed for you to really explore inductive reasoning by using characters as, for lack of a better word, case studies, like you might do in a psych class. So you have to choose ideally three main characters, not side characters that are in there for 5 minutes in the play or the screenplay, if that's what we're offering, but or you're choosing. Um, but central characters, right? One of the big three or four that are in the work, and you're going to choose at least two works. Okay, not two characters, at least two works. So it can't be three main characters from one play. It'll be three central characters, maybe two from one play, one from another one. You could do one from each of the three that are available to you for this assignment. It's up to you. Okay. And then you're going to use Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is covered in a separate video. Go check that out. But Maslow's hierarchy basically talks about character and motivation, why people do things. You know, you'll do things for biological needs like air, water, shelter, food. And then it gets up to social structure, right? So stability, social stability, family, and things like that. And characters are always trying to get to the level above whatever level they're at. And so you're going to use your three chosen characters to talk about something related to identity. It could be notions of identity as it relates to family, identity as it relates to authenticity, like who is or is not a true Latinx or Filipino or Asian or Cubano, whatever, based on the plays that we're looking at. Okay. As an example on that, I have Mexican American students, Chicano students in my classes. When they go to their families' homes, like ancestral homes, you know, their grandpas or whatever in Mexico, they are often called gringo and gringa because they were born and raised here. They are American as I am. And when, you know, this pasty white dude, and as a result of that, they are perceived as more American than Mexican. And I've had this issue with students talk about going back to the Philippines or Vietnam or whatever. And so that's kind of an interesting idea to play with. But you can also get into notions of masculinity and femininity. What is it? What does it mean to have a masculine identity? Doesn't mean male, right? We're not thinking biological gender. We're thinking masculine and feminine traits. Masculine being aggressive, violent, dominant, logical, and those kinds of stereotypes. And feminine is going to be nurturing, caring, supportive, submissive, you know, those cliched stereotypes. I'm not saying that's what they have to be. I'm saying that's sort of how our society often constructs them. So you could look at some interesting issues related to that. You could look at sexual identity. You could look at racial identity. There's a lot. Anyway, you get the idea. Focusing on identity in some way. And the works I've chosen, you can pick any two of them and they're going to overlap in some way. Just like we did for essay one with the poems, they are going to overlap in some way and that'll work. So with that as your sort of foundation, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to look at these three characters to better understand this idea of family identity or authenticity or masculinity or something like that. And the characters don't all have to be the same. They can be contradictory. It might be like, here's a very masculine male and here's a masculine female. And so they're obviously not the same because they are different biological genders. And between the two of them, I can better understand what it means to be masculine or something like that. Okay. And then the third character might be a more feminine male, a more feminine female. It could be somebody who's non-binary. It could be somebody who's sort of a, excuse me, halfway between the two, has both masculine and feminine traits, and kind of is a, for lack of a better word, happy marriage between the two. And then those three characters will really help you understand that idea, and you can use that to explore your concept. Obviously, then every body paragraph is not going to be oriented on character, but on things related to masculinity traits or family identity or something like that, breaking it down 5, 6 body paragraphs, maybe 7, plus an intro and conclusion to get you to your about, 5+ pages. What else? Because we're looking at drama, whether that's screenplays or plays, we are looking at dialogue and action to reveal character, right? And so we use Maslow's hierarchy. We use what people say and do in plays. rather than what they think. And between those two different sort of analytical focal points, we can better understand these individuals as sort of human analogs. Okay. I'm hoping this makes sense. This is just an introduction. There are lots more details in other videos and PowerPoints all throughout our modules. So you'll be able to check those out. There's one on the thesis statement. There's one on essay structure. There's one on quoting drama. There's one on Maslow and Freytag combined. Lots of them. So you guys take care. I'm hoping this sort of clarifies some things for you. And you can start thinking about essay 3 in a way that's going to feel focused and useful. All right. Take care.